So it can force you to level up in that regard and go, well, cool. And
So here's my question. Do you use that as a way of putting yourself out of your comfort zone? Like stretch yourself a little bit. Don't overstretch yourself. Don't go buy a $500,000 car that you can't afford the repayments for or whatever it might be. But do you put yourself in the position, like, it's like you hear about property investors. Like to buy this, like they buy the first house, they stretch themselves, and then to buy the second house, you got to stretch yourself again. Like, and is this like that stretch? Like that's gonna, because when you got to pay someone, you fucking come up with the money, dude. When you got to pay yourself or put it aside, it becomes less.
yeah.
And
you should pay yourself first.
You should pay yourself first. One of the biggest principles from Rich Dad Poor Dad is pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Pay yourself first. All these other fuckers can wait.
Absolutely.
Pay yourself first.
Absolutely.
And then is this a way of paying yourself first?
Yeah.
Or is it not the best way? It might not be the best way. I don't know. But that's where
I think the biggest advantage is, at least because you're in business and you can claim that, there's that advantage to it too. If you were buying it with your disposable income, I'd say, look, probably not the best thing. And in all honesty, I wouldn't have the cars I have if I had to do it through disposable income.
like your own pay, yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'd be throwing money away doing it that way. At least this way, everything, the maintenance, the fuel.
100K?
Sorry? It depends on the vehicle. No, that's 150, I think.
150K.
Yeah.
So
But it also, that's a luxury car, so there's less that you can claim on it as a result. But then you've got the utes up to about 180, I think it is a complete tax write-off because it's classed as a commercial vehicle. So, so for you, even in yourself, you could say, yeah, well, cool, we put equipment in the back, cameras, all that sort of shit.
We do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely mistake. But no, regardless, even if you put signage on the side of your ute, or get a magnet and put it on there every now and then, you know what I mean? It's still a vehicle that you're using for business purposes. And then you can start claiming fuel. You start claiming all your services, tires, brakes, like anything you need on that vehicle take it to the car wash, get it cleaned, tax deduction. Everything becomes a tax deduction. So it is a smarter way of doing it. And
but then do you have
to you get used to that level of living.
You don't go back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So now you're living in a nice suburb, you're driving a nice car, and then maybe the next step is, okay, you know what? I want to live in this suburb. All right, you're in an apartment now. You go, next, fuck it, I want a house. I want a 4-bedroom home.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
On the beach.
You're like,
and I want that next car. So now you got to go, cool, I now need to make this much money. And then each year, it's like you're saying, every year your business should make more money.
Last night I was walking on Beach Street.
Yeah,
Beach Road, yeah. The road that's
on the beach.
Yeah. And I was walking there at about 10:30. And I walked on one side, I walked up, and then across the road, I was walking back, and I was looking at some of the houses that are on Beach Road, or like have you seen some of the apartments there? Like some of the big...
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking at them, and I'd see like a family sitting up there, and I think, like, I wonder what their situation is.
Yeah.
Like, they're obviously doing okay in life. That rent wouldn't be cheap, or they own it.
They own it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're obviously doing okay in life. Like, are they business owners? Are they trust fund kids? Are they working like CEO on a, multiple 6-figure income that's doing very well?
Yeah, they're multi-million-dollar properties, all of them.
Oh, dude.
All of them are multi-million-dollar properties.
Yeah, there's a health benefit to waking up and seeing water every day.
Yeah.
Like, supposedly. Should track it. But yeah, it's like, how do you... And you hear of other people who are like in areas where it's not as great, and they stick around their whole lives there because they don't stretch themselves.
That's right. It's the comfort zone stuff, isn't it?
So,
well, maybe this is an element of you getting out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't need to make that money, and it's like we're saying, we're trying to get that $1 million, like what's $1,000 a month when you're trying to make $1 million a day?
Dude, 5 years ago, I reckon 5 years ago, I was 27-ish, and I moved out and I lived with 2 mates. Yeah, this was 5 years ago, just before COVID. And I lived with 2 mates, and we split the rent 3 ways. Okay? 3 of us living in a 3-bedroom apartment. Everyone had their own bedroom, and we'd split the rent 3 ways. And what we were paying in rent at that time, I pretty much pay now on my own. But at that time, I would have been like, not a chance. Yeah. Like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? And then you go from that to moving to another place where it was just me and a mate, and the rent was higher, so I had a higher share. And then he was moving out, so I was going to go from that to full, and then from that to this now more expensive. Like, and it's like, okay, those stretches, had I taken a big leap back then, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But the stretching over time, it's become normal. I've made it work.
That's
like,
right.
Somehow have made it, have not dropped. Like, I'm not starving. I'm not, you know what I mean? Haven't, do most of what I want to do. Are there constraints? Of course.
Yeah,
but like,
absolutely.
I do most of what I want to do. I live pretty comfortably. And then it's like, maybe this is that thing. Maybe I'll never, or I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong about this and I should hit a certain amount and say, cool, I got this much, I should go do that. And it's like, do you stretch yourself first? And then does it work differently for different people? Is there people who need the security more? I don't get scared. I used to get scared in the sense of money and that. Now I'm like, yeah, cool, I've been here. I'll find a way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a
So
hole.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
I'll work it out. Like, why not? Cool, we get that much. Like,
My advice, do it. And I say why.
I'm leaning towards doing it.
I'll tell you why. Go get it.
The Ranger.
Yeah, fucking oath. Fucking oath. And I'll tell you what.
Got one lined up.
Because let's say it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Or you go, look, do this and go, nah,
They'll
can't
come
do
take
this
the
anymore.
car. They'll come take the car.
What do you mean? Just sell it.
Oh, yeah, and just pay it off.
The car will hold its value.
That's why I was leaning towards a Ranger.
The car will hold its value.
They hold their value ridiculously.
But even if you drop $5,000, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. You just drove a Ranger for
You just drove it
$5,000.
or a year or whatever, or 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
just sell it. It's not. You're leasing the car. You know what I mean? It's just a repayment per month, and then that whether you keep it the full term or whether you put a deposit down, whatever you decide to do, it doesn't matter. You're going to get
you're
that
gonna
money.
survive it.
That's right.
But
so
do
it's
you-
not really that full. Oh, it's $80,000. It's not. It's this much per month. That's all I have to come up
That's
with.
it. Yeah.
per
It's
month.
going to make this much
Make it
extra.
happen. And let's look at it from another perspective. Say you now rock up to a client and you're in a brand new car. That's a current model, looks good. Most people would know they're roughly around that sort of figure. Oh, Robbie knows what he's talking about. Driving it around a nice new car. Must be nice.
You know what else is stopping me? So that's one thing. I'm leaning towards the Ranger because it holds value.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Is like, do I really need to this? Like, you know what I mean?
Let's be serious. You don't need it. No one needs anything. No one needs, when it comes to cars,
Yeah.
you need transportation. You need A to B.
You need 4 wheels.
You need 4 wheels.
wheels, 2 wheels.
Yeah, 2 wheels.
One
whatever.
wheel.
I've seen them. Seen it happen. But you need a unicycle. Just bloke.
Yeah,
unicycle.
it's like,
Get your shit.
hey, Robbie.
You just need transportation.
Yeah.
Even
Mikey.
then, like,
You need a Mikey.
you can do. Yeah, you need a Mikey or Uber.
You need.
There's like, and I'll be honest with you now too. I'm probably going to be. I've got a couple of my cars up for sale, like company ones. Yeah, my Ranger's actually up for sale. Haven't had any calls on it, but I don't really care if it sells. It sells. If it
How
doesn't,
much are you asking for your Ranger?
low 50s, I think.
Yeah.
And
What
it's
year is
a 3-year-old car?
2021?
Yeah, 21 or 20 or something like that. I think it's 21. Something like that. It's got about a year's left on its warranty. And it's dropped fuck all, like in value.
Oh, they hold massive
I know.
value.
I buy smart as well. Like I bought it. at a
Yeah, and that's why I was like, that's the
had
only reason
contacts.
why-
I'll hook you up as well after this podcast.
What?
Buy me with contacts.
I've got a guy.
I've got to go.
No, I've got a car ready.
I'll do ya?
Yeah.
Be curious to see what you get it for.
Yeah,
I'll hook you up. Anyway, be interesting. So, yeah, whether it's, I was contemplating not having a car for a bit because I know for a fact, I don't live far from the office. I could walk, it's a 15-minute walk every morning for me to walk to the office. And let's say it's pelting down with rain. Oh, call an Uber.
Get an umbrella.
$10. I've got an umbrella too, yeah. It'll cost me $10 in an Uber. Even if, and I've got other company cars here too. So some of my employees have got company cars as part of their package. Say, oi, say I don't have a car, say, oi, keys, I need to go to a meeting. Take their car. It's my fucking car anyway. All right? So I've always got a car available. My missus, if she's not using the car, hey, I need the car today, take it. I can walk to pick up the kids, no big deal. Or if I'm at the office, my missus has the car, my employees have their car, they're out on site, catch an Uber. I'm not going to spend the $1,000 a month in repayment on that vehicle in Ubers.
No.
I'm not. Plus fuel, plus insurance,
Rego,
plus rego, plus maintenance,
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend that money in the year, the $20,000 that the vehicle's going to cost me in Uber. I'm not going to at all.
You always convince me to.
No, just but this is like it's 100% it's true. And I think they did a study years ago about cabs when that was the thing. That if you didn't have a car and caught a cab everywhere, it was actually cheaper for you to catch cabs everywhere instead of owning a car with maintenance, wear and tear, depreciation, all that sort of shit. So I was going to trial that for a little bit, but I like the convenience of just getting in my car whenever I need to, not having to rely on anything or anyone. But mate, the fact that Uber is literally 3 minutes away.
Uber's not bad. Uber's not bad.
Any ride share, like it's so easy now. I can get on my phone and be anywhere in 3 minutes.
So our office is...
We'll have the car here in 3 minutes.
Our office is in South Bank. I live in Port Melbourne.
Yeah.
For anyone listening that's not from Melbourne, the office is about 4 Ks away.
Okay, so very close.
It's close, yeah. It takes me less than 10 minutes to drive in the mornings.
Yep.
And people say to me, you drive to work? Because it's literally one road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people say, you drive to work? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, why don't you just catch a tram? And I'm like, because when I've just done a 14-hour day, I don't want to wait for the tram.
Playing so small. I drive
the tram. What, to save $50 a week?
I live 1.2 Ks away and I drive every fucking morning. I never walk. I live 1.2 K. I am a 4-minute drive from home to office.
Your car wouldn't even warm up.
All right. My car doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't get past the meet. Doesn't get warm.
Stays on
it's
C.
still cold. It stays on C the whole way. 4 minutes in the car. I don't need one. So, but those guys there, what's wrong with you? Why don't you ride your bike? Why don't you, catch public transport? Why don't you?
Yeah, I need people. Why don't you just catch a tram? Like, why would you do that? And then I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Playing small.
They are.
Fucking oath. Think about it. I'll tell them. I'll get them on the podcast and tell them in front of their face.
Tell them.
But no, they're listening. So you're playing too small. So absolutely, there's that element that they're not being forced to level up. They don't have to go for that promotion. They don't have to do the extra hours. They don't have to come in on a Saturday. They don't have to try find a side hustle because they're comfortable. So maybe, it is a level of comfort. Maybe me and you, because we're trying to do sick shit, let's be honest. Fuck. We're talking about this every week, okay? And we're doing podcasts. We're stretching ourselves in our business in this. Like this, again, takes time. I could be doing 1,000 things right now. I see the payoff for this one day.
I think I know where you're going with this. I'm getting nervous.
Oh, yeah? But
you going with
we're going to Armies right now. After this, fuck your Ranger.
We're going to the Armies.
No. Do you know what we need to do? Is in you and me, forget the listeners and followers, and I hope you get inspired by this, but we need to keep each other more accountable. So, what are you doing now? It's been a month. We catch up monthly business-wise, but maybe we should catch up more so, fortnightly, and say, no, look, let's be serious. How are we going to get to take one of our businesses, let's make turnover 7 figures this year? How are we doing it? But 9 months left. Why couldn't we do it? Why couldn't we turn it into a 7-figure business by the end of the year? And the answer is we absolutely can. We totally can. And I'm so 100%. Does it mean we need it?
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.